Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Square Choco Cafe. I am your hostess, Gladys of the JWO. And here with me, as always, live from the Hotlanta herself, here is JC.
Hi, everybody.
And he's okay because he's in okay, Jeremy.
Good evening, y'all.
All right. Let's get the evening started with something that's been brewing for about a week now. So,
A little more than a week. A little more than a week. Let's recap, okay? Back in June, I had you on a YouTube live in which we made a little wager that I with our your Patriots facing my Bengals last week. We all know by now the Bengals lost 16-10.
Go Pats!
And yeah, the saying is "Who Day." Well, in this case, it was "You Day." I'm still wearing my Bengals jersey today because,
but you still have a little something there.
I do still have a little something here. So, as promised, and I'll put it. Hopefully, can the camera see?
Little that way. There you go.
There we go. So yeah, your Patriots, your defense whooped up on my Bengals offense. Stop Jamar Chase cold. Your head coach had a plan for us. He executed it to perfection, and I gotta give y'all credit. Y'all whooped up on us. So job well done. Congratulations. This is for you all, because yeah, I got we got beat, but we got a little something.
Yep.
We got a little something.
Yep. This time we are doubling down. Hit it.
We are. So here's what's going to happen. Sometime next year, it's a rematch. Bengals Patriots, once again at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. And this time we decided to make the stakes a little higher. You see, I'm wearing my Bengals jersey. The losing fan will have to wear something representing, will have to wear a shirt representing the winning team.
Oh.
Yep.
You gotta wear the winner's merch.
So we are doubling down, folks. And as I keep saying to Jeremy, I think he looks wonderful. He would look wonderful in Patriots blue and silver.
I think you're gonna look good in Bengals orange. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Orange is a little too much for my complexion.
Well, I mean, we can make it Halloween themed with orange and black.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it, but we'll see what happens a year from now, folks.
Yeah, we will see. We don't have the exact week yet. We won't get that until next April. So stay tuned, because next April we'll nail it down and you'll find out which team is going to be, or which fan is going to have to not only, once again, praise the winning team, but wear the opposing team's colors.
All right. You heard it here, folks. So check back us. Well, check out every episode every week, but check back in a year and see what happens at next year's game. So, all right. So WWE week happened this past. Oh, wait a minute. First things first. I got to say something of congratulations. PWI came out with their top 10 commentators of the year.
Okay.
And believe it or not, Wade Barrett is actually on the list.
Oh boy.
Yep. He's right exactly where he should be, because it's what he always is. A number 2.
Oh.
Wow.
Let's hear it.
Ooh. I'm like, I knew it.
No, but in all seriousness, he is the number 2 commentator of the year. Number
Who
one,
was
I
the number
believe.
one?
Let me double check. I believe it was Cole, but let me be certain of that.
I would be shocked if it wasn't Cole. So where did Pat fall in? Or did he even make the list?
I'm
Nigel
sure
McGuinness.
Huh?
Nigel McGuinness.
Nigel's number one?
They're going with, I guess they're going by wrestlers turn commentators.
Oh, okay.
So the top, it goes from.
It's color commentators.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go from
color
10, from number 10 to number 1. Number 10 is
Matt Menard.
Matt Menard.
I have the list in front of me, actually.
All right, go ahead, Jeremy.
Number 9 is somebody we know, Veda Scott. Number 8, Hugo Savanovich. Number 7, Booker T. Yeah, I had the same reaction. Number 6, Pat McAfee. Number 5 is Taz. Number 4 is Matthew Raywalt.
Oh, formerly Aiden English.
Yeah, yes. That's what I was going to say.
Number 3 is Caprice Coleman. We mentioned number 2, Wade Barrett, and number 1, Nigel McGuinness.
Oh,
now those are just color commentators. I don't know if they have overall like regular announcers.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. But yeah, so there you go. There's your list.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I knew Pat had to be there somewhere.
I like the fact that Aiden English I mean, I thought he was a great competitor anyway, and I liked him as one half of the Vaudevillains. But he really did have a good voice, and he really made a name for himself in TNA. So I'm not surprised that he made the list.
Yeah, neither am I. To be honest with you, I'm not surprised most of these people made the list. So,
and it's nice to see that just like the Intercontinental Championship, Wade Barrett, it'll be number 2.
Anyway. Boo! Come on. No, did you see on Monday? Drew tried to call Wade out. Like, man,
JC, let me get your opinion about that. What'd you think about?
I'm sitting there going,
calling out his friend like that.
I was like, Drew, I wouldn't be. I was like talking like, Drew, you do not want to piss off Wade. Not saying that is a. I mean, considering Wade has pretty much been in his corner, I'm like, you need some friends, and you over here trying to piss off one of your good friends. And Wade, I was like, Wade was about to be feeling something in a minute because it looked like he was contemplating whether he should just go off on Drew for like, I'm basically trying to help you save your job, and you want to get mad at me? I'm trying to help you out. So, Wade kind of like at the end of that, Wade just, kind of went back
to throw down.
Huh?
He was ready to throw down.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was like, Wade, and it's like Wade didn't necessarily retire from wrestling. He just stopped. So
he looks like he could still mix it up. So
yeah, can't fault. But then, I mean, maybe he just felt like, I should take a little break, let myself heal up. And then he got into the commentary and he found out, I really enjoy doing this. Let me just do this for a while.
Yeah,
or focus on this. But that said, I have a hard time believing that this thing with Drew McIntyre is not going to lead to Wade Barrett making a return to the ring.
Man, I kind of feel it may do that because he only got so many times he can tell Wade off until Wade just like, look, man, I'm over this. I'm over you. Let's just hash it out in the middle of the ring.
All right. Well, we'll get back to that in a minute because, JC, I know you heard an announcement on Monday. It's going to make you excited for what you got coming up. But I just got the notification right now. I think we got somebody special waiting in the hey. They just took off. All right. We'll get back to that. Anyway, all right. So we'll go back to what we were saying earlier. Just as looked like Wade was about to throw down, Adam Pearce comes out with an announcement that we are finally going to get the finale, the last match. This is it. This will do it between the two of them. JC, what are you going to be seeing at Bad Blood?
Going to be seeing a Hell in a Cell match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
All right, no lie. What were you thinking when you saw that?
I was like, there's no. I mean, I was excited that it was going to happen. I kind of had a feeling that it would, because after everything that's happened, they went back and forth. There's got to be a big ending to it. And what big ending would be bigger than that, than a Hell in a Cell? So, yeah, we're going to get to see that. Hopefully, Punk won't be sitting on top of the cell while everybody's leaving like last time.
Well, we'll see what happens. But we'll get to the other matches that were announced for Bad Blood. I think we have. Okay, they came back. So here we go. See if this works.
One would think it should.
All right. Oh my God, it's my VP. Sir, how are you? Rob Roberts, everybody, the VP of the JWO.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
What's going on?
Well, sir, you weren't who I was expecting.
No, but you know me, I can pop in anytime I want.
Yes, sir, you can.
I am your vice president.
Yes, sir, you are, sir. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, did you tell your little group members that the good news yet?
No, sir. I thought you were going to.
Well, okay.
I think I had a little. There was a little hint at the beginning.
What was the hint?
I noticed that it was a little bit of a different intro.
Was there now?
Yes.
What was the intro?
She didn't call herself Prospect anymore.
No, she's not. She is a official patched member of the JWO now.
I've been sitting on this.
There you go.
Sitting on this for 24 hours. I wanted to wait and make it official on the show. Yes, I was voted in. I am now an official member of the Juggalo Wrestling Order, and it'll be a matter of time before I get my patch with my name on it.
Nice, congrats.
Okay, now for the long-awaited ado, may I introduce one of my partners and the most vivacious, beautiful woman in indie wrestling right now, Miss Nina Beretta. Hey.
Hi.
Good
evening. Well, trust me, you're not going to need that here. Hi, Nina. How are you? Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Sergeant. How are you?
Good.
Nina is the Sergeant at Arms of the JWO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sergeant, how are you this evening?
I'm all right.
Just all right?
Yeah, no, everything that could go wrong today, with getting ready, happened. My makeup looks awesome, but my eyeliner was being really difficult trying to apply, and all this other stupid crap,
I swear, don't worry.
Yeah, we are not shy about letting fly when called for.
All right, for sure.
All right, well, let's start off with this is a wrestling podcast. So let's start off at the very beginning. What made you become a pro wrestling fan?
Now you're going way back. That I've been watching wrestling since I was a little tight. My favorite growing up was the Macho Man Randy Savage. He was larger than life, and I don't know. I don't know. What's not to especially because I started watching wrestling maybe around I don't know maybe early '90s, and Macho Man was kind of if you know anything about his career, he kind of like when I was like old enough to like watch, watch or like really remember. He was delegated to like announcer duties, and then he went to WCW, and he was, he was like my hero, and I was like a huge, I watched every episode of WCW Monday Nitro from when it first broadcasted till its final broadcast, its final telecast.
All right. Do you have any favorite Macho Man moments?
Yeah, my favorite. Oh my God, there's so many. Look, maybe in going back in time, my favorite is but when it happened, like obviously little kids in the audience were like crying. It's his feud with Jake the Snake Roberts. Snake.
That's way back.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Snake biting Macho Man. That was pretty it was pretty epic if you ask me. And and then come on, and the promos on the guy, oh my God, shit is fire. They don't, and then they don't make them like him anymore.
No, they do not.
He was a rare breed.
I was gonna say, you mentioned WCW. I actually go back to WCW. I didn't start watching until 1997, but I do remember the Macho Man. And I saw his career there in WCW.
For sure. And then it was cool because this was, like I said, this is during the Monday Night Wars. So you'll probably remember like flipping having the channel changer in hand and flipping what you didn't like. If you didn't like what you was seeing on Nitro, you could turn onto USA and watch Monday Night Raw or whatever, or you can watch what was going on Nitro on TNT. And and then what I used with we used to watch Nitro in my house, and then my old man, because my parents were divorced, when I'd visit my father, he would actually record on VHS. Raw, what I missed on Raw or whatever. So I was getting my whole. So when I would visit my father on the weekend, I can watch what I missed earlier in the week on Raw. So I always knew what was going on whether it was in WCW or it's going on in in WWE.
Those were simpler times too, when there wasn't all this tribalism, for lack of a better term. Fans of fans of different companies. Because I mean, let's be real, the the fandom now is so split. Yeah, I mean, you got AEW fans that just hate whatever WWE does, and vice versa. And it's like it should be as simple as watch what you like.
Yeah, that's how I feel, and I miss, like you said, no one made fun of. Nowadays, people like make fun of you if you like a certain, you watch a certain program, or you like maybe like a certain athlete in whatever wrestling organization, and with the tribalism. You didn't really have too much of that in the 90s or whatever. Everybody was like, yeah, this is, so everybody got along.
I mean, it existed, but it wasn't. You only saw it like face to face, for lack of a better way of putting it, because you didn't have online. You didn't have the internet. You didn't have.
Yeah, you didn't have the internet. And a lot of like the tribalism stuff, like you just said, yeah, it did happen. It would happen. It would happen like fans face to face, as opposed to, just being a coward and just saying some mean stuff behind the computer screen, because you don't have to worry about getting cracked in the mouth.
So. All right, JC, do you have any questions for Nina?
When we were talking about WCW and everything, is that more like a question? It's more like, I understand, how the tribalism was going on at that time. And I went to school in Atlanta, during the height of this.
So you were living in Hot Atlanta. Nice.
Right. So at that time, I went to school. I was going to school at that time, and so I was like, and I started out as a WWE fan or WWF fan. So then I moved to Atlanta, and then I started getting implemented with WCW. So it was so like I would show up with this is before Bret Hart went to WCW. So I would show up with a Bret Hart shirt, and everyone else around me was wearing WCW gear.
Yeah, like people like wearing Sting or Hogan, NWO, Goldberg, Macho, whoever.
Right. And I started getting into WCW, and the first person that I got interested in was Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Jericho. Yeah, real talent. One of the few technical wrestlers.
Yeah, I was into like a lot of
the skit on Nitro with him ranting with the huge list of all the holds, and he moves like
1,000 holds.
Remember, he had that feud with Dean Malenko, who
right
when he was known as the man of 1,000 holds or whatever, and
so it was like I loved that. That was my thing with Jericho, Juventud Guerrera, Rey Mysterio. I was, high flyers. That was my thing.
So you like, yeah. That's what stood. The reason why I got really interested in WCW when I was really little. One, previously, you figure all the guys from the older talent from WWE, they got these. They went to WCW and they got these really fresh runs, and they got these really like mint contracts where they can carve it up and make bank and get these fresh runs, and then when Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, when they disappeared off of Raw, I'm like, what happened? And I'm trying to find, and then voila, turn on, Nitro, Macho. He showed up, I think, like around 94, like around 95, actually. So, and then I just stuck because I'm like, yay! It's my favorite from. He was on this, and he was doing like the Slim Jims and Slim Jim commercials.
So I really do have a question. So when was the moment when you went from, just being a fan, looking from the fan's point of view, to actually being in the thick of it?
Okay, so I kind of I guess you could say, one of my romantic partners, he's a independent pro wrestler. I'm his valet manager, and I only was going to do it this one time, escort him to the ring as his valet manager, and I really liked it, and then hey, let's continue doing this, and we came, and me and my partner, we just started I just started watching all like the classic matches, on TV and stuff, and I just started coming up with ideas, because my partner, he's a bad guy, he's a heel, so I started thinking about, hey, I can do that. I can jump up on the apron, like Miss Elizabeth or Sensational Sherry, and distract the ref, or I can try to sneak a weapon to get give to my partner, and while the ref has his back turned because the ref is yelling at me, hey, get down from the apron, you can't be in this match,
Yeah, some of it sounds like the heel part is like the best part. I mean, face is fine, but heel.
And I think heels, be quite honest, heels actually, being a heel is a lot more tough than being a baby face, because you have to work twice as hard as as the baby face. Everybody, you gotta, you gotta one, make it so that the whole entire crowd they hate you, and then
a lot easier to be hated than loved.
And you gotta, you also gotta bring that heat to a point where they're cheering for your opponent, the baby face. Whereas the baby face, all you got to do is just really worry about him or herself. So
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get cheered than it is booed.
yeah, exactly. And then me personally, I always growing up when I was watching wrestling, I appreciated the heels more than the baby faces, which sounds weird, but you know what? I can't help it. My father, God rest his soul, he used to root for he was the type of guy he rooted for the bad guys in all the movies, and he was like a rough around the edges, Italian American guy, and that rubbed off on me. I'm like, I picked up on that. I'm like, yeah, root for the bad guy,
Mm.
I don't know.
Do you have some favorite heel managers that you can?
Oh, I can. Oh, yeah. Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. I really like Classy Freddie Blassie. I mean, that's real old. Captain Lou Albano. He was a heel too. But he went back and forth between being a heel and a face, depending on who he was managing. I also really liked Bobby the Brain Heenan. Guy's a legend. He was my father's favorite. Was Bobby the Brain.
I gotta pull this out. Will you stop?
Oh, Gorilla and Bobby, the best commentating team ever, hands down. Sorry. To me, that's what I grew up with. I wanted to be Bobby Heenan too. I loved his sarcasm. I wanted to be just as ridiculous.
Was what appealed to me, and I guess that's why I like being heel. I can, I'm pretty witty, and I come up and it just comes natural. I couldn't take myself serious, if I was trying being like this little goody two shoes person, trying to preach all this this all American good government bullshit. That's not me.
I caught that quote. So now you've made your way into independent wrestling, and it's actually opened the door for you because you actually became an ambassador. Care to explain about that?
Yeah. So what that means is I am the LGBTQ plus ambassador for this promotion called that's it's up and coming called Beantown Wrestling Alliance. What that means is I'm an advocate. I advocate for making LGBT folks and our allies. I by me being an ambassador, I ensure that our promotion at BWA is is inclusive, is diverse, and everybody feels welcome and safe, regardless of who they are, what they identify as. Also, too, is an ambassador. I interpret that too. Not only letting the fans know, hey, if you could feel safe at this show. We're a safe space for LGBTQ plus and allies, but the locker room too. Like for instance, who's to say let's say somebody in the locker room. Maybe they have maybe someone close to them. They're LGBTQ. They can come that talent in that locker room can come to me, and I can provide them some sort of insight in how to be an ally and how to how to make your your loved one that's LGBTQ feel welcome and safe and accepted and all that stuff. And to me, being an ambassador too, it goes in being an ally too. It goes more than just a head nod. It actually it requires action. My what I me I'm a what I do. I just don't care. I'm proud to be who I am. I broadcast it, for a lack of a better term, and because there are people out there, in the world who, for whatever, because of maybe their situation, they can't be open about, who they want. And that rubs off on people. People will take, they see me being proud, being proud. You know what I'm trying to say. It makes them feel like be their voice.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep, this show has always been a supporter of the community. We have always been proud of our fellow brothers and sisters and non-binary in the LGBTQ plus community. This show is also a safe space for them. So we always show our support. I recently came out as demisexual, so I am proud to be that. And
Right.
I have 2 children also in the community, so I proudly support them. So I'm very happy to be helping you out with this, especially giving you this platform that you can speak your mind and say whatever you want and do whatever.
And then when I do is like I said, I make sure that people, whether it's, people in the locker room that are talent, or maybe behind the scene guys at the company I'm a part of, that not only do they feel safe and welcome, I make sure, our fans do too. I want to include everybody. I want to, let's forget about, like where, like where we all come from, and enjoy, why we are here. Wrestling. We want to see some, some action packed, explosive, in your face, good quality wrestling.
Most definitely. Now you also are I'm sorry, Jeremy, go ahead.
I was going to say, it should bring us together. I mean, there's very little that does these days. Everything is so divisive.
Two, part of being the ambassador at this company, two, eventually me and me and the other me and the promoter, we're thinking about like maybe looking outside of possibly towards wrestling, get other, some do branch out from wrestling, do some other stuff with other forms of entertainment, maybe like maybe like a battle of the bands type concerts, maybe stand up comedy. We talked about drag brunches and drag drag
that
show.
sounds fun.
All this other stuff.
Oh man, I can't wait. Those are all awesome ideas. I personally have never been to a drag lunch. I would love to go to a drag lunch. That would be amazing. And you would be a wonderful hostess.
I haven't done a brunch in a long time. I used to do. I did a couple of them, like a few of them when I was living in Colorado, because that's where I got my start with drag. I actually got my start when I was enlisted in the military, a little after Don't Ask, Don't Tell just got repealed, and I used to do at that time for my drag, I was known as, if you wanted, you would on your drag show, if you wanted, and you wanted the that a shock queen, and that was very campy and doing something alternative with drag, and I was the queen. I was that performer you wanted to have on your show.
So you are a drag performer, and you said you've been doing drag for quite some time. How did you create your character?
Well, at first, when I first started doing drag, like in Colorado, I was more like I did a lot of like club. My look was very club kid inspired, and it was also inspired by a lot of like the goth dark dance scene. I used to go to this one bar or whatever, and we had every Sunday night was goth night, and I would show up. I was known for having wearing cyber locks. I had a dog collar.
Yeah, that.
wore big, huge goth platforms, the whole shebang. And I actually did like my early drag too. Like I mostly did. I didn't really do when I would perform. When I did perform, I didn't really do too many. Actually, a whole lot of girl songs. I actually did a lot of songs that were sung by guys. Like I was doing, like a lot of stuff by I don't know, like Korn and Rob Zombie and that sort of thing. That's like the music I kind of like grew up like listening to. And then
okay, start transitioning to girl stuff.
When I was in Colorado, my name was Ruby. I was going by Ruby Voorhees. Ruby because I was a gem, and then Voorhees because I was killer, like Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th.
Nice.
And then
we just had Friday the 13th.
That was actually this past Friday. But anyway, getting back, subject at hand, and then I kind of like when I came when I moved back home from Colorado. I kind of moved back around like 2015, 2016. I just came out of the closet. I actually took a hiatus from drag, and then I just started getting back into it. Maybe like I don't know, like 2-3 years ago. And now I go by Nina Beretta. I'm Nina Beretta because first my name is a play on the gun, like 9mm Beretta. Instead of the number, it's Nina, and then Beretta, like the Italian, pistol or whatever. Like I used it I used to carry when I was in the Air Force because I have guns. Bang, 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 bang.
Okay, there you go.
Yep, and I have seen her perform many times. She is absolutely freaking phenomenal. She kills it on stage. I absolutely adore watching her perform. It is like some of the best stuff. You probably have seen some of her videos on my Facebook. If you get a chance to check them out, she's really awesome. Our vice president also likes to record her too, so it's always awesome to see her performing.
Yeah, and then when I started getting back into drag, like what can I do? When I started getting back in drag, what can I do to come up, to stand out amongst the other performers? And I'm like, let me think. And then I thought to myself, I looked at my inspiration. One of my favorite movies when I was a little boy, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Jessica Rabbit. I can get, I can have the over exaggerated, like an hourglass body shape like Jessica Rabbit. Because not only with drag am I celebrating, LGBT liberation and pride and being proud to be, who you are, but I'm also celebrating femininity. And what better way to celebrate femininity than to look hyper feminine with having, big breasts, a big butt and all this other stuff, and being really, leggy and, So.
Yep. I mean, she is, like I said, if you two ever come back to Rhode Island, you got to go see one of her performances. She is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it is.
And now, and then with my drag now, I do like, I do like a lot of camp stuff, a lot of campy stuff, and I do, and and then I have this like persona. One of my favorite TV shows of all time is The Sopranos. So I try to do like this like kind of like Mob Wives inspired like tough gal kind of look or whatever,
Well, it works because you pull it off very nicely. So
thank you.
Really, really happy about that. All right, so a few minutes. So we got some time here. So we got to give you a chance to promote. Let everyone know what you got coming up, what you got going on, and where can people find you.
All right. So what I have coming up, I have October 3rd, Beantown Wrestling Alliance. We present the Beach Mount Rumble at the Beach Mount VFW. Kids cost goose egg. It's all ages show. Adults are $15. Veterans goose egg too. They don't. We get in for free. And then what we're doing with I think what's different than a lot of the other promotions is, we're trying to like get the wrestling fans back into wrestling. It'll be a fun time. The show will be in Revere. It'll be my first kind of any show actually in Boston, and it's in in its surrounding areas of Boston. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm kind of I'm not going to tell you what I'll be doing. That's for you to find out. And then me and the promoter, we really hit it off. He reached out to me. We hit it off well, and he indicated that we would definitely continue a good business relationship, as well as a friendship too. My promoter, Joe Solera, really nice guy, down to earth, 100% professional businessman. He's very he assured me when he reached out to me before I can even bring it up and stuff. Like he said, and don't worry, no one's gonna make you feel that you don't belong because of your sexual orientation, your gender identity, and all that. No, I'm not gonna let anybody do that to you. Nobody in the locker room is like that, and we're not gonna have that. So it goes to show it feels good. The guy has if that because this is all foreign to me, because it's a lot of wrestling fans have, like I said, they have like kind of like they're very closed-minded, whereas this guy's completely minded, and that really hit home for me. I'm tired, not having to get treated like a second-rate citizen, but treated like an equal. And this guy does just that. We have he indicated we have future shows he wants me to be a part of, and we're working on at this time, but you got to stay tuned, or whatever. So
Yeah, we had Joe on last week, so we
he's like a terrific guy. Me and him, we come up with I gave I can tell he really likes my creativity. I pitched him some cool ideas, and we were talking, and we just really hit it off. And I think, and I don't know, I think it's kind of cool, like not to sound corny, but I'm kind of looking for someone kind of in the business. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a rookie, I'm a greenhorn. You got to start somewhere, and looking for someone who is open-minded like Joe, and is very and is also a professional, and is a damn decent human being, to kind of like or whatever, to provide me like maybe like a kind of like, I don't know, maybe like a guy, I guess like a mentorship or guidance in the professional wrestling business, professional wrestling industry, because I don't really know too many people. I'm starting to get to know people and stuff, and it just helps, having somebody who's been in the business for a substantial amount of time, to show you the rope, to be a battle buddy, or your wingman,
Sure.
Definitely. So, all right, one last thing before you go, and I want them to hear this because I've heard it. She does a really mean impression, and I think she knows what impression I'm talking about. So you two, close your eyes for a second, and I want you to listen to someone cut a promo.
All right, 1 minute.
Yep, lubricate.
Yeah. Tower of power, too sweet to be sour. Funky like a monkey. The cream of the crop rises to the top. Dig it. Ooh, yeah. Over there right now to freak out. Because the macho man is here. And I am here for one reason, and that's to take it to the limit. Yeah.
All right, tell me that's not spot on.
Yeah, that was definitely
that nailed it.
Yeah.
That nailed it. Wow.
All right, Nina, thank
I
you
could hear
so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. I hope to have you on again soon. And I will definitely be seeing you, my sergeant. Too sweet. JWO for life.
Oh. All right. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good.
Oh, VP, hi.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Hi.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back, sir.
You're welcome. That was a very interesting interview and very good. I'm very proud of you. Did I do okay? Did I do okay? What, you want to say hi? Hold on.
Here's the other member. Here's the prospect of JWO. Here's Piper Halliwell Dior.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
How's everyone?
Doing
we're
well.
all good.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Well, this is kind of a bonus here because this is the another prospect of JWO, Piper. And well, actually, since you're here, might as well. So Piper, how long have you been a drag performer?
Well, I've been on and off because of family reasons. So I able to do like Halloween and things like that. So when I met Nina, we were friends and chilled with her for a little bit, and gradually went up. I was like, yes, this I always want to be, at some point in my life. So it was just like very hard, you know, with my family because they weren't really accepting, you know. But now, they let me do what I do, it's like don't like the military, don't talk, don't tell type of thing. And so yeah, for me to get ready, I would have to go to my friend's house, especially if I'm in Pride. So that's basically, and also inspired me too, is my first time seeing a drag show while I was living in New Bedford in Massachusetts. An ex co-worker from a different part of the building invited him, me, and the sister, because the sister worked with a person. And that's the first time I ever saw a drag show. So other than that, just spiraled up. That's how I became as Piper.
How did you come up with the name Piper?
Well, the name before Piper was Diva La J, because me being like a diva, my J is like the part, and the LA is because of French. So I was like a diva French person. So and I was like, you know what? I want to change it. So I was like, what can I do? What can I do? And I was like, wait a minute. Since I got 3 in the family, I was like, I could do Piper Halliwell and just add Dior, so it doesn't make it look, I'm copying from the TV show Charm from the 90s. So I was like, no, yeah, I'd say late 90s, begin 2000s or so. So I was like, that's what the name I'm gonna pick.
Now, how did you get involved in pro wrestling?
Like me, and I was brought up. My father was into Undertaker, and my uncle was about the same, but he was like more into Hulk Hogan and Randy. Sadly, it cut short because they weren't really into it too long. So years upon years upon years upon again, I met Nina, and also Rob. That's when I start getting into more of the wrestling.
Now, I noticed your character, you're a bit more demure than, to use a word that's been popular lately. Is that how you would describe your character? You're a bit more of a lady?
Ugh.
Pretty much. The reason why is because I know it's populated of glam, glitz in the drag community, but for me, I feel like a Cinderella story because of what I've been through in my life. Not just a Cinderella story, but me as a spiritual person as well, it made me, you know, have some growth.
All right, I've also seen Piper perform, and she is a spitfire. Don't let this little demure aspect of her fool you. When she gets up on stage, she is a spitfire. The performance the last performance I recorded of her. Ooh, she was, she was so cool. It was really fun to watch. So now we got you on here. Why don't you promote? What have you got coming up?
Well, I'll also be doing the end of September, which will be Unchained at Providence, and that's the Alchemy. Then I'm going to be doing the October 3rd with Nina, and then October 12th. And October 12th is going to be at Dark Lady with Capital Wrestling, and you also will see.
I know, definitely looking forward to that, and it's going to be a great show. When Rob comes in with each one of them on their arms, it is like they just command attention. It is just amazing seeing them on each side of his arm. It is so cool. I love it. It adds another dynamic to the Rob Roberts character. I'm telling you. So, all right, Piper, thank you so much for coming on, and it's been a pleasure. And we love having you. I love having all of you guys on. My sisters, my JWO. Actually, I should announce it right now that we are a subsidiary of JWO. We are the JWO Sisterhood.
Yep.
Agree?
So we are all together, and these are my sisters in arms, part of JWO. Thank you so much for coming on, and I will talk to you guys later on, either later tonight or tomorrow.
Also,
There you go.
Oh God, I'm back again. No kidding.
Hey, VP.
All right, I don't want to interrupt you anymore.
All right, VP. Thank you so much for coming on, sir.
Thank you for having the girls on. It was very much.
Definitely. We'll have to do this again.
All right. Well, there you go.
There you go, indeed. So
you got three guests in one.
That. When's the last time that happened?
What can I say? The Square Circle Cafe. Go big or go home.
Oh, we went big. We went big, all right.
Yeah, we did. So thank you all once again. Like I said, thank you JWO for hopping in. JWO Sisterhood representing. We'll have more information about that as soon as it gets here. So before they came on, we were talking about Bad Blood and how it was announced that Drew McIntyre and CM Punk will face off in Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood.
Right.
Another match was also announced for Bad Blood coming up, and it happened this past Friday. But before we get to that, gotta ask you guys, what do you think of the new format with USA getting SmackDown back?
Oh, I mean, I kind of like it. Well, the big thing I really like is the, you know, it's not going to black every single time. I understand the point where they have to bleep out the curse words, but they're not like
Right.
black screen. And they have a little bit of a leeway with some of. I think like after a certain point at a certain point at night, like after 9 o'clock, if if a cuss word flies, it flies. So could they do the same thing with Raw?
I think it's 10.
Oh, 10?
Yeah, I think it's 10 Eastern.
Oh, okay.
Or 10 local.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember. I know it's like after a certain time, something it flies.
Yeah, but okay, but what did you guys think of the changes to the presentation of the show? Meaning the logo, the new song, all that.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I like
Go
Megan
ahead.
Thee Stallion. I'm gonna be honest. At first, it was kind of a jarring because I when it first came out, I was listening to that song. It's like a constant rotation, so it kind of took a second to get used to it being like, having my two favorite things in one area.
Right.
So I mean, and honestly, you know, I don't think I kind of put it in the same vein as how the Beautiful People started out. It was like, and this is when it was with Raw. It was like one time, and then it came up with its own thing. I think that was just to get people to start watching it. So if it goes like a couple of times and then it goes away, that's what I see. Because I see happening. Because right now what they were trying to do is like try to get people to watch, and they're getting something popular that's going off right now, and that song just came out. So you're getting in the casual person. They're like, oh, what this is going to be about? Oh, I see this cool montage. I'm going to keep watching. I kind of
Right.
feel it is in that vein of, we're trying to get people kind of put butts in seats pretty much. And, by the third show, probably it's gone.
Yeah, they're
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I kind of agree with that, but I kind of think that maybe they should, because they had the Nickelback song for the longest time, and then they had the Papa Roach song for the longest time on Raw.
Right.
If SmackDown really had a major theme, I think they also used "Beautiful People" for a while,
Yeah,
and
and it's
They
stuck.
did.
And I was
yeah,
about to throw out bodies, but I said no, that was for ECW. So never mind.
yeah. I think actually this could be good for them, and who knows, maybe somewhere down the line they'll probably have Megan perform the song either on a SmackDown show or at one of the PLEs.
Yeah,
So
she already hinted that she's thinking about getting
yeah,
into the wrestling business. We know as a performer, just a performer song, but in a jokey manner. So she's kind of. I wouldn't be
well,
surprised if some type of WrestleMania moment happens there.
she does kind of like bounce around from project to project. Remember, she did a cameo in She-Hulk,
All right.
so that was pretty funny because apparently a character on there was impersonating her, so it's supposed to real things in court, watching her get sentenced. And I have to say though, I didn't think I would like the new logo, but actually, you know what? It could have been worse. I think I could get used to the new logo.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly like the new format and the fact that being back on USA, like you said, be a little easier with like the graphic language, the colorful language that can sometimes drop from time to time. Because let's face it, it's going to be happening a lot more often, especially on Raw when it flips over to Netflix. So because I mean,
Especially with
I'm not saying
wrestlers.
it's gonna be like Pulp Fiction, fuck this, fuck that, blah blah, but once in a while you'll just hear somebody in the ring, fuck, um, I'm waiting
Sammy.
for that to happen. I am waiting for that to
I'm just
happen.
waiting for Sammy to
On
just do,
camera.
because Sammy is known to just drop F-bombs out of nowhere.
You know it's gonna happen. But
Boy, wepa.
but okay. This is not an anti-Meg thing. This is not a anti-anybody thing. I was just I wasn't wowed. Now I will grant you that at least they did they used a band or used a song that's current. You know, you got to reach the current audience, and I think they were able to do that. Um, I did not like the new logo. It 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 just looks weird. It does. It looks weird. It doesn't look like the words SmackDown. It looks like uh oh something Calm, you know?
I was gonna say, was it like Pretty Deadly's Knockdown?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm just not. I'm just like that doesn't look right. It just doesn't. But I guess I got too used to the the words being, clear and obvious and easy to read, and you know, I guess eventually I'll get used to it. But uh, for me, I'm sorry, but that wasn't it, guys.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that. That it's just something
Anyone
about that logo.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
the S just looks like the most. I don't know. It's something about the S that's just not. I don't like, because it just seems like, yeah. I don't know. It's like a. I know it's trying to. You know how a lot of how McDonald's went from the fun colors, now it just looks like a
yeah,
box of a house.
yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of like that. It's like it's trying to streamline stuff, but they're not. But it just comes off wrong. It looks like a corporate logo. That's what I'm thinking of.
I'm
That's
thinking it looks
yeah,
more
yeah,
like a subsidiary of the old XFL teams.
yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah,
That's what it looks like.
yeah.
Cause
You know
I mean,
what? You know what? You know how that reads to me now? Now that I saw it again? Smack Zone. I'm
what
sorry.
here?
That,
I mean,
that looks like one S.
what's your favorite logo?
Easily the the one that was on you that they were using for USA when it was or using when it was on USA the first time.
Man, it's been so long. I forgot it was on
Which I
US
think it
at one
was
point.
Tuesday night SmackDown at that
Oh
time.
yeah, when they had it was taped on was it like taped on Tuesday and then shown on Friday?
No, that was before that.
Oh, okay, okay.
They went live on Tuesdays for a while.
Oh
You're
yeah.
talking about with the fist?
No, I'm talking about no, the one I'm talking about. Let me pull it up.
Man, it's been so many play. It flipped so many times. It went to Tuesday to Friday,
This
then
was
Thursday, and then back to Friday. It was They could never figure out what day they wanted to push back.
Also, this one.
Yeah.
yeah, so this was on it was on Tuesdays from 2016 to 2019.
Okay. Oh God, dang, yeah. Oh yeah, it was that. It wasn't that block where like you can forget about getting sleep, because if you had like something Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it was like by the time Tuesday came around, you were struggling.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, so it was.
Speaking of struggling, they're thinking about making Raw, both Raw and SmackDown, 2 hours.
Thank God.
Yeah.
At least until January, until they go to Netflix, and I guess they're gonna go back to 3.
Well, there's some dispute about that. Keep in mind, Netflix not being an actual network like TV, like not having to stick to a schedule necessarily. They could go 2 hours one week. They can go 2.5 hours the next week. They can go back to 2 hours. They can go 3 hours if it really needs it. And I personally keep it at 2. Or you know what? You know what? Let me back up. Make it 2.5, maximum 2.5.
Yeah, because they were thinking about making SmackDown 3 hours. This was rumored. And I was like,
I brought that up in our group text, and I can't help but to think that that's coming. I don't know when.
Oh God, sorry, cat just jumped on my arm.
Dumped or jumped?
He jumped on my arm. I was like, what?
Yeah, because I think if it was dumped, she would have had a much different reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been ew.
Yeah, you would have saw me running, and that would not been good. But
you'd have been running for the bathroom.
I don't know, because honestly, right now, I think problem is that, let's face it, in the social media age, trying to get someone to stay on one program for 2 hours, for 3 hours, is tough. Keep them for 2 hours, it won't be so bad. Right. Because we've already been struggling since Raw went to 3 hours. We've been struggling since those days.
Right. Think about it. That's just us as a TV audience. Imagine being there. That's like 3 hours. No, that's about 4. Because you got to get the show itself. You probably have like some matches before that. And then you may have like a go home match. You may have something go home match there. And then if you're talking about level up and speed, then they got matches. So it's like, it's a struggle. And we are, and speaking from experience, the 7-hour WrestleMania. Oh my God. I'm so glad they brought it to 2 days. That was a struggle. And I had brought my cousin. This was his first WrestleMania. Now that would have been my second one, but his first. So he had to stay there for 7+ hours.
Yeah.
Real quick. Raw has been 3 hours for 12 years.
Yeah, so 12
years we've been dealing with this.
All right. We were 12 years younger then, but even then we were struggling sometimes. Because especially if you're like me, with sometimes my job, I'd have to wake up early the next day.
Yep.
So for me to stay up until the show ended, and sometimes it didn't always end at 11. Sometimes it ended at 11:15 if something was going on. So you'd have to stay up to watch it. And by that point, it was like, be like, whoa. Pyro will all be like, what happened? Or when you're in the audience, speaking from experience myself, going to a Monday Night Raw for 3, 4, 5+ hours. I mean, and this is also including, getting there, concessions, and then, going through usually it's like the main event taping, and then the show itself, then whatever the dark match is, and then usually sometimes the wrestlers will stay afterwards to sign autographs around the ringside area. And then while you're doing that, you're trying to leave. So of course you got to depending if you drive, you got to go to the parking garage, you get the car out. In my case, I had to run to the bus stop so I could catch the last bus to go home, or I had to Uber, wait for Uber rates to go down. So yeah, 2 hours actually seems more realistic. And since it's a Monday night, a lot of kids go to Monday Night Raw. So they got to get up for school the next day.
They're going to be dragging the next
day. The teacher's going to be like, why is Jimmy face down on the table holding his Roman Reigns t-shirt? It's like,
yeah,
went to Monday Night Raw the night before. So 2 hours actually seems a bit more realistic.
Right.
Yeah. And for me, You know, fortunately, it's less of a problem to get the bus, but keep in mind, you know, on Central Time, you're looking at Raw ending at about 10:30. You're looking at the whole show ending by 10:30. So, um, I mean, for places that don't have 24-hour transit, you know, that's rough.
Living
Um,
in Atlanta, you gotta deal with MARTA. And if you ever
yep,
been on MARTA
I
after
have
a
been on MARTA.
show, oh my God. It's like you get going to the station and it's like a sea of people. So you gotta like as soon as you get there, if you don't get in front, you gotta wait for the train to get full, then it pulls off, and then it's like 30 minutes before the next train comes through, and you gotta make sure you get off to get to your station before the last bus leaves. That's crazy. And this is all before the thing of Uber was a thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
So
the same
And
way. I
if
always have to leave. There were times where I had to leave Raw like a half hour before the show ended if I could get home
right,
in time to catch my bus.
right.
So it was always tough, especially for 3 hour shows, because I believe the R line for me, the last bus is at 12:15. But if I had to wake up early for work the next day, I would have to leave the show early. And sometimes that wasn't always bad. That wasn't always good because usually I'd miss some big thing that happened in the main event. I find out later on when I go home. I'm like, I missed what? You know? Um,
I
that's
think
the other thing too.
I think they're also what I'm reading is they're shortening the pay-per-views because you don't have like you don't have like all these matches. You only have like a set number of matches. So by 11 o'clock, people can go home.
yeah,
Yeah, it's more
and
about quality than quantity.
Right.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what I was advocating for with AEW last week. I think I said, you know,
Yeah.
they cram they cram a 90-minute pre-show in. By the time you're done, or by the time you're halfway through the main card, the fans are like exhausted. It's not good.
And we saw that too. I believe it was WrestleMania 35 that the fans, by the time we got to the first ever women's main event, the fans, even though they were excited, they were all like, yay.
They're ready to go home.
They were like, yay. I mean, you could tell, even though Becky won the matchup, the fans were all like, yay, where can I get a cup of coffee? Like, like, I'm ready to, like, you know. So yeah, it's better that I find it refreshing that WWE is really knowing that the fans can only sit for so long. So to shorten the programming, I think it's a better idea too. And splitting up WrestleMania to 2 nights, they've been doing it for a while now. It's been working,
And they're
and
gonna
the
do it
fans,
with SmackDown, not SmackDown, with SummerSlam. Also,
yeah, I mean, it's makes it a lot more enjoyable because now you're not exhausting yourself. And
Yeah.
sometimes too, there are matches you don't want to see, so you could choose which day you want to go on. So it's so much better now. The product is so much better now than what it was like say 5 years ago pre-pandemic because because by the time everything was over, we were tired. We were exhausted. We had things to do the next day. And by the time we got to the next day, we were still suffering from massive wrestling hangovers
Yep.
from experience. I would tell everyone, don't be surprised if I'm zombified the next day because it's like voice will be gone. I'd still have my head. I'd still have a massive headache from all the my ears still be ringing from all the pyros. You know, now you get a chance. You can go home. You can go home at a decent hour. Go to bed at a decent hour. Wake up refreshed, ready to tell everyone about the night you had before at WWE.
Although you still might not have a voice necessarily.
right?
True, but a lack of a voice is worth it if I can actually get at least 7 hours sleep. So
Right.
Yeah, you know, there were fans that were complaining about it. Like, why did you do that, bro? No, just think about it. It's just, you know, I love wrestling, but at the same time, man, I'm old. I can't stay up too long.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been collectively watching wrestling for a very long time. We've seen a lot of iterations go by. And so we know how exhausting a wrestling show can be. Okay, both WWE, or in my case, professional WWE and independent wrestling. There are times where you're just sitting there like,
Right.
you know, like, when can I go home? You know, it's just like, even though you're loving it, you're tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and JC's right. We're not as young as we used to be. We're old now. So so yeah, we can enjoy a good show, but we can also enjoy a good 6 to 7 hours worth of sleep.
Yeah, I mean next week. Let me use this as an example. Next week, I fly to Kentucky and I'm going to my high school reunion, and then on Monday night I'm going to Monday Night Football next week. The problem is Monday Night Football will end at about 11:30. Guess who's got a 5:10 a.m. flight the next day?
Oh
This
man.
guy.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
see what I mean? It's things like that. And
Yeah,
can you imagine? And let's flip it over. The WWE superstars, they get to actually, 2 hour show. Okay, let's face it, 2.5 hours, because we got the stuff that happens before and after the show.
right.
But some of them can actually, go to the hotel, get a good night's rest, or get to the airport at a certain time, make it for their flight, be able to go home. They don't have to sit there until the show's over 3.5 hours later. So
Yeah, no.
this could work out for their benefits too.
Absolutely.
Now, what do you think about the fact that they're cutting back on house shows?
On the one hand, I'm for it because it does reduce the risk of overexposing certain towns. But the flip side of that is that a lot of fans might not get to see the shows nearly as often,
Mm,
especially in some of the smaller markets.
right.
And yeah, I'd throw Oklahoma City in that mix. So, I mean, that's my thought.
All right, JC, how about you?
I mean, I see it the same way. Like, you know, I understand, you know, not even, you know, overexposure, and also, you know, give time for the wrestlers to rest, because they're doing so many shows. There's a higher risk of getting injured at a house show. That's one thing. But at the same time, like, you know, certain cities, like I know Mobile would be considered a big city, but they
Right.
do get a lot of house shows. If I was still living in Mobile, you know, yeah, I would have to fly up here just to go to a show.
Yeah. Or drive to or somehow get to New Orleans.
Yeah, or Birmingham, Birmingham or Montgomery, one of those. But yeah,
Probably
it would just,
Birmingham.
yeah. So, you know, it would kind of suck, but I understand the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Well,
here. I'm kind of noticing that Providence hasn't been getting really house shows. We've been getting a lot of TV tapings. So if we don't get that many house shows, I'm all for it. So I mean, I don't mind TV tapings. Even though I didn't go to Raw last month, it doesn't mean I won't go to a show again. I mean, the SmackDown could come up, and I could probably go to that. I already know
right.
that it was announced that AEW Collision is coming to Providence, so I'm probably gonna go check that out. I know one guy says he's definitely gonna be there, which is Vincent of the Righteous. So
Right.
who knows? Maybe if I bump into him, maybe I can ask him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
members. You dig what I'm saying? No, oh, that was so bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm
You
all
just did
for
that.
it. Yes, I did. So I'm all for the cutting back on the house shows and stuff. And like JC said, it gives the wrestlers a chance to rest up some more. Um, they're not always on the road any more than they probably already are now. And, more power to them. It gives the wrestlers a chance to, re-energize, and that way they can focus more on like the big tapings and the pay-per-view PLE, sorry. Coming up. Speaking of PLEs,
Right.
got another match that was just announced, and this one's going to be a big one for JC that you're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing Solo Sikoa and which one of the Bloodlines is he tagging with? Is it Tamatanga?
No, Jacob Fatu.
Jacob
Oh,
Fatu
God.
versus the unlikely tag team of Roman Reigns, the OTC, and the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, Cody Rhodes.
I, I don't even know how that's gonna go.
Oh, really? She's speechless.
No, I just feel like that's it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be a good match because we get Roman Reigns coming back to Atlanta. That is always a good thing because he's considered one of our hometown heroes here because he graduated because he went to Georgia Tech. So
Right.
he's gonna get a big pop regardless. And of course Cody because he's from Atlanta, the Atlanta area. um, um, dude, I just feel like somebody gonna get. It's gonna. I gotta see it because I don't see how it's gonna be clean anyway. Because
Well, I mean, we still got, it's Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, but we still got Tamatanga and
Tonga
thank you. I was gonna butcher his name. I know I was.
oh,
Still waiting in the wings there. So
I don't want to crack a joke, but hopefully he know what a ring is. But okay. So
got them waiting in the wings there. So God only knows if they're gonna interfere in the match. I didn't catch it or not. Was this match just gonna be a tag team match, or was it gonna be Hell in a Cell?
no, it's a tag.
I believe they just made it a tag team match.
Okay. Okay.
Man, we couldn't handle two. Well,
Yeah,
somebody
we've already
wanted to
been
be
to
the lesser
Don't.
Hell in a Cell.
I was gonna say you were about to say we couldn't handle two Hell in a Cells. Remember, if it happens,
I booked it. Yeah.
yeah,
Then again, we've experienced two Hell in a Cells because we went to the one in Boston.
yeah,
For
Yeah.
three of them. So
And
yeah, you'd be able to handle it, but I get the point you're making, and that is true. So so here's this. So who's to say like? Okay, so far the only match are those the only matches for Bad Blood already announced?
no, we've got Damian Priest and Finn Balor
Yep.
1-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
We got Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship.
And Dom on a pole match.
oh
No,
god.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally just kidding. Just kidding, folks.
I'm not gonna touch that with a 20-foot pole.
Hence the pole match. No.
The other one is
All right, y'all.
the other one is Nia Jax defending her women's championship against somebody.
Really?
We don't have a women's tag team title match. I thought we did.
No, we do not.
Not
Yet.
no, not yet.
Not yet. So.
Um,
Oh wait a minute! Isn't the Are they gonna call? Are they gonna? I guess that they haven't said anything. They're gonna have the finals of the Intercontinental, or they're gonna have that on a special.
That is going to be on a Raw.
Oh man.
it's gonna be on
By
Raw,
the way,
that Bad Blood.
we know how the we know how the opponent for Nia Jax is going to be determined. And this came up on
Oh
SmackDown.
yeah.
Yep.
If Bayley and Naomi win, the woman who scores the pinfall will face Jax at Bad Blood. If Jax and Stratton win, whoever gets pinned is forced to leave SmackDown permanently.
Now, does
Until the
this
draft.
Bailey and Naomi are going to Raw? Or Nia
One
and
of the two.
or oh wait, just one of them, or was it both of them?
One
If
of them.
Jax and Stratton win, whoever gets pinned.
Oh, okay. So if you were forced to make a choice, who would you want to see on Raw? Who would you want to see on Raw? Bailey or Naomi?
Ooh. Can I want to
Okay,
see
just correct me.
Bayley, honestly.
Okay, just correct me. Which Uso is Naomi married to? Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Okay, never mind.
So
I have to go with Jeremy. I think Bailey had a great run on SmackDown. But I think Raw would probably I would love to see her versus either Liv or Rhea for the title.
yeah, I would.
I think it's Naomi's time again to start glowing back on SmackDown.
Yeah, I would think that would happen. Bailey be the one going.
Of course,
So,
I hope that bubblehead bleach blonde Barbie wannabe doesn't ruin it.
oh God. Oh yeah, I know you.
Oh,
talking about.
Stratton.
Yeah.
And I want to say, like I say in every episode, it's not the person I hate, it's the character. Okay? I'm sure
Yeah.
she's on TikTok. She's actually really funny on TikTok. She's not bad. But that's the
The
person.
character.
The character Tiffany Stratton that I see on SmackDown every single week. I just want to dye her hair black. Like, I mean, just get that Barbie wannabe off my screen. And that Money in the Bank briefcase is driving me crazy. I can't stand it. I mean,
They're already selling it on WWE Shop.
You know, we've seen people dress up the Money in the Bank briefcase before.
and you are right.
I mean, Brock Lesnar turned it into a boombox, for God's sakes.
Well,
Um,
yeah, and then Damien Sandow had the leather attaché.
yep. And that's fine. This is over the top.
Yeah, thank you. Bubblegum puke pink and then turn it into a satchel. It's like,
Wait, what? Why?
I'm always waiting for her to trip on it as she's running to the ring to cash it in. I mean,
I hope she does.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Bear me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
I do. I hope she does. And then she'll see that, yeah, this was not a good idea.
Yeah, why don't we go to distance and turn it into a backpack? I mean,
We already have that. Orange Cassidy. Enough said.
oh. I know. I'm sorry. It's called the Money in the Bank briefcase, not the Money in the Bank purse. I mean, it's just
Right.
yeah. I mean, that's just the only thing that's driving me crazy about this. And I still stand by my theory that she will be the first one to fail at her cash in.
The first woman to fail.
Yeah,
Right.
first woman to
Let's
fail.
be clear.
Yeah, because it has to happen at some point. Okay, the guys have been dealing with it almost every other year. It's time for the women to step up. I mean,
Or don't.
so to speak. Yes.
Mhm.
All right.
But
one more thing before we call it a night. What have you guys been thinking? I think I've said this before, but I still want to go because we had a couple more this week. What have you guys been thinking about the TNA NXT crossovers? This week we had Tony D'Angelo pay off Hammerstone to try to take out Obafemi. And then we had Wendy Chu challenging Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts Championship on TNA. And then we had Sol Ruka challenging Jordan Grace this past Tuesday. So and now Zachary Wentz got challenged to a street fight versus Wes Lee at Halloween Havoc. So, what do you guys? I mean, was it Halloween Havoc or was it next week?
Yeah, Halloween Havoc.
Okay.
I
So,
think.
I mean, so what are you guys thinking of? How are you guys liking the TNA crossovers?
I'm still a fan. I do think I think it's a matter of time, honestly, before we see one of the two have a crossover champion. I do think it's going to happen. Um, which one is it? I don't know. I do think one of them does.
I thought for certain it would have been Joe Henry. I don't understand why they didn't, shoot the gun on that one.
You know what? I'm waiting for Survivor Series War Games TNA versus WWE. That would be so awesome.
Oh,
That would be so awesome.
That would be interesting.
Oh, I can see the invasion angle right now. Oh, I love that idea.
Okay, you just triggered me with two words: invasion angle. Okay, here's the thing: can we trust Triple H to do what Vince McMahon would not?
Well, I mean, he tried it when he tried invading WCW.
No. I'm talking about making sure both brands look good.
Right.
Oh, definitely. Oh, Triple H, yeah, he definitely would. I honestly, I mean, I'm seeing it now anyway in TNA, on WWE and TNA, because
Yeah.
everyone's had good showings and stuff like that, and the wrestlers do wind up looking good. It's just dubious things happen. I mean, look what happened between Joe Henry and Ethan Page. Trick Williams, had to count the pin, even though there was some shenanigans involved. And so yeah, I think he would make them look strong and stuff. And I mean, I'm just seeing, like in my head right now, how invading into. And here's the thing: you said it's TNA. Okay, let's do it right now. Who from NXT? Who from TNA in War Games?
And it's the men's and the women's, or men's from
Why don't
Let's
for right now, let's just do the guys.
Okay.
Let's just do the guys. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because honestly, I don't know all the knockouts on TNA, so I'm still learning.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let me throw 5 at you. For TNA, I would throw Joe Hendry in there. I would throw Moose in there. I would throw Eddie Edwards in there. I would throw. Heck, let's have
Oh
Nick
God, that
Nemeth.
would be so amazing.
Let's have Nick Nemeth in there. And 5. Well, hell, he's a WWE legend, and he's appeared on TNA now multiple times. Let's throw JBL in there on the TNA side.
All right.
And then for WWE or for NXT, I throw Wesley. Let's have Obafemi. Let's have Trick. Let's have let's have Tony. And that's 4. Gosh, who would be a good 5th? Good 5. Shit. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on a number 5. Hell, let's bring Carmelo Hayes back.
All right.
All right, JC, how about you?
Okay, from TNA, Joe Hendry. Well, pretty much the same thing with uh with what Jeremy said, except my fifth Hammerstone. Throw him in there.
Sure. Hammerstone would also be a good pick. You know,
Yeah, he pretty much almost mopped the floor with Obafemi the other night.
yeah. Let me just throw this out there and why I picked JBL and Nemeth for that matter. I mean, you could create a whole thing where one of them has, or one of them ends up turning on the rest of the TNA faction because of their connection to WWE.
Yeah, when you said Nick Nemeth, I was like, oh, that would be so nice right there.
Yeah.
I was like, that would be, you could just see the crowd just going bananas if he shows up.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. You could just,
you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So and for the women, I'm sorry, not the women, but for the WWE side or NXT side, Trick, was it oh crap, Wesley, Trick, Obafemi, oh God, come on. Hey, Ethan Page. The only reason I'm throwing Ethan Page in there that he would try to it'll be his perfect opportunity to just be a chicken shit leader.
Yeah. And you could still get the same. You could still get it
Right.
the other. You could get the same angle the other way with, he's got connections to TNA.
Right. Yeah, I would see them probably. One of the members will probably come back from the main roster. So
Yeah,
that would totally work.
that's why I brought Carmelo Hayes back.
Right. Yeah, I can see Carmelo coming back. But the thing about Carmelo is him and Trick. They're gonna be too busy trying to beat each other up before they get in the match.
I think it'd make it for a good story.
Oh yeah, that's true. So pretty much the same thing you said, except I'm just trading one of your members for Ethan Page because I could just see him being a part of that team and him declaring himself the leader. So there's tension right there.
Oh yeah.
Can they get along?
Yep. Can they coexist?
Right.
The old tried and true tag team trope.
Right.
How about you, Gladys?
Let's see. For TNA, definitely complete the trifecta. Definitely Joe Hendry, Eddie Edwards.
Yep.
I would actually put the Rascals.
Ooh, okay.
And for the fifth member, for the Muscle, Moose.
Okay.
On NXT side, it would definitely be Trick Williams.
Yep.
Tony D'Angelo.
Yep.
Obafemi.
Yep.
And this is going to seem like an odd choice, but he's very talented. Charlie Dempsey.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
yes.
Yep. And
you need somebody that can Matt Russell.
Oh yeah.
Yep, you definitely need that. And I'd have to say, I have to agree with JC on this one because I think it would actually be kind of funny. But actually, my choice, not so much the captain, but my choice for someone who tried to be a bit of a chicken shit on the team, Lexus King.
Oh my God, that dude that got hit so hard he turned to pixels. Seriously, you saw that the scene where a guy came around the corner and he hit him so hard the screen just got disoriented.
Yep.
He turned him to flat out pixels.
I know. It looked like you were watching a WWE 2K glitch. I mean,
right. Now that you mention it, yes, he would be perfect. he would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, cause he's got that ego. He's gonna that would be so perfect. So I'm going. I was like, dang, I now want to change mine because I didn't even think about Lexus.
I didn't think of Lexus King either.
Like,
what can I say? I'm an NXT regular.
wait. The you know what? I'm gonna switch somebody out for me.
Okay.
Okay. Switch out somebody for Young OG.
Oh, Javon Evans.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes. Talk about okay. I thought they were over exaggerating because I didn't get a chance to see his debut. I thought they were just over exaggerating about it until I saw his next matchup. And I was like, whoa.
I was switching him out. I was switching him out with Wesley. And I know that's a big controversial switch out, but it's like Wesley's got a whole thing going on with him and the Rascals.
And the Rascals.
So
yeah,
get someone that's like up and not up and coming, but it's getting it's building up his momentum and stuff. Put him in there. I could see that. So
I totally agree with you, and I can totally see that too. So WWE, we asked for it. If we happens, we booked it here. We would love to see a TNA NXT crossover War Games. So who knows? We'll see. At the rate they've been going with the NXT crossovers, it looks like looks like it could possibly happen. All right. Once again, it has been such a great pleasure having you guys on. So as we always do at the end of every show, talk about it on the socials. Ladies first. JC, where can people find you?
okay, so on TikTok, X, and Instagram, it's HardyCat1027. So that makes it easy.
All right, Jeremy, where can they find you?
Basically, Twitter, Jeremy Moses 85. I periodically tweet stuff for my or for Corey and Storm Chasing at WX Corey. And then the next edition of the Pro Wrestling Boom podcast will be coming out of Bad Blood in a couple weeks at pwaudio.net. I appear on that regularly with ProWrestling.net editor-in-chief Jason Powell and Survivor Hall of Fame villain Johnny Fairplay. So, and it's still wild that I get to name drop him, you know?
Name drop all you want. It's true. You do get to talk to him and work with him. So it's
Yep.
I think that's pretty freaking cool.
And I got a little something for I got a little something for the I got a little message from a friend of mine. We'll talk about it off air, by the way. I just want to because we might have somebody new. We might have somebody that might want to help us out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So, yep.
All right.
So stay tuned.
All right. On Twitter, or as some of you modern kids know, X, I'm at that Daria chick. You can also follow the show at SCC Podcast. You can also find Square Circle Cafe Podcast on Facebook. Like and subscribe there. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, That Daria Chick, where you can find all episodes and all previous episodes that we've done. Also, a lot of contents dropping from both AWL and the RWA show I went to last night. You can follow also me on TikTok at That Daria Chick. I will be appearing at the Beachmont Rumble on October 3rd with Sergeant in Arms Nina Beretta and Prospect Piper Halliwell Dior. I'll be there representing Squared Circle Cafe and JWO, selling copies of my book, Finally Finding and Accepting Myself, which you can find on Amazon. I'll also be at October 12th at the Cabo Wrestling Show at the Dark Lady in Providence, representing JWO as well. And get a chance to check out, like I said, check out all the social media content we got going on. Check out the VSW podcast with the Versace Stoner. He is planning on coming on the show eventually. He just has to find the time between all the interviews he's been doing. And future JWO members have already agreed that they're going to come on. The Lieutenant Psycho Nix might be coming on soon, as well as the Killer Kevin Chase. Still trying to get the President to come on, TJ Tucker, but he's kind of a bit of an island to himself, so it's a little tough getting him on as
Some
well.
people are.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I've got interviews lined up. We'll have as future guests, former guest Sean Leader, as well as possibly Insane Dick Lane. Cletus also might be coming on soon. David Morales, he is a manager at RWA. He is also a Rhode Island State representative, so he'll be on as well in October. So that one I have to tell you guys, we might have to do that as I might have to do it as a pre-tape to upload, or either that, or we have to find a way of doing it live on air. So we'll figure something out with that. But in the meantime, keep checking out all the exclusive content here on the Square Circle Cafe. Square Circle Cafe, for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.